Students in South Carolina have choices. How they learn and where they learn varies from charter schools to magnet schools to virtual schools, but they all have one goal in mind: preparing South Carolina graduates for college, career, and community.
We have a vision in South Carolina now, and actually the state legislature adopted it in statute this past year, called the Profile of the 21st Century Graduate. And it means that students have to still have content knowledge in science, math, English language arts, the arts, foreign languages. Yes, you have a certain level of information you need to know. But the profile now says just as important as that foundation is that you've got to have skills. You've got to have characteristics, the skills to take what you know, solve problems, use it, apply that knowledge. And we're building citizens, so we have to work and build character, honesty, integrity, perseverance, fairness. And so all of those things now are we see as equal of a three-legged stool that we've got to work on in schools, working with families to make sure when our students graduate from high school that they're very well-rounded.
Hi, I'm Dawn Samples. On this episode of Carolina Classrooms, we'll take a look at what options are available so you can decide which of Carolina's classrooms is the best choice for you. Before you choose which type of school is the right one for you, it's important to know what your options are and what the differences are between them. We visited the South Carolina Department of Education to get some answers.
Lots of times I'll get calls from parents who just don't know what to do. What is school choice? And so I explain the choice options that are available in South Carolina, and then I let them know and find out what school district they are in and let them know what options are available in their particular district. School choice gives students an opportunity to explore different educational options available to them. School choice was actually designed to meet the needs of each individual student. You may have a student who is interested in the arts, you may have a student who's interested in technology. So school choice provides educational options for students. It gives parents, not only parents, but students an opportunity to be a part of a school that is more best suited for that particular student. Charter schools tend to be more of a smaller setting. If a smaller setting is going to help a child excel, a charter school may be worth looking into. If that child is into the arts, into STEAM, into technology, maybe a magnet program would be best suited for their child. So school choice is about options. A magnet school is an opportunity for students to participate in a program with more of a themed-based program, maybe arts, it may have to do with STEM or STEAM. And the magnet theme is actually integrated into the curriculum, so the students still have their basic courses like science, math, or social studies, but that magnet theme is integrated into their core subjects. Original intent behind magnet schools was for desegregation. So magnet schools actually originated back in the late 70s, and again, it was actually court ordered for a school to create desegregation for students. So it was to give those an opportunity to attend a school outside of their neighborhood so that they can have those opportunities that they typically wouldn't have, because if they attended the school in their neighborhood, it might not be able to provide those theme-based programs that another school outside of their neighborhood provided. So it really created more racial diversity amongst students in schools. So with that court-ordered desegregation plan, it allowed schools to reduce minority group isolation by allowing other students to attend schools outside of where they lived. Sometimes with magnet schools, there may be a lottery process. It may be they might have to complete an interview, complete an essay. They may have to. There's a lot of different processes with magnet schools, so it really depends on the school that the student is looking to attend. But the intent is still the same. With magnet schools, of course, they want to make them more diverse, so they try to create opportunities for those to break some of those racial barriers. They follow the same state standards, but they do find innovative ways to integrate that theme into the curriculum that has been provided. And of course, it is according to the Department of Education guidelines.
We are the Academy for Civic Engagement, and our goal is to create citizens who are responsible, and we do that through a focus on government, economics, and service learning.
The focus of the Magnet School is for students to be civically engaged, and so teaching students what that means to be a good citizen, to learn about economics and saving money, spending money, sharing money, and with the service learning component is making our citizens of the future. We're creating that public.
What's the step that we might
In our program, what we do is not only community service, but we tie it to learning, and that's why it's called service learning. That is doing a service in the community, but also tying learning to it. Whether that be collecting for a flood and having our first graders learn how to identify the coins that are being collected or count money. It also, on a fifth grade level, might look like our garden needed sprinklers, and they are applying measurement skills that they have learned in the classroom to installing an irrigation system in our garden. So it happens all the time, but it's very thoughtful, very intentional again on our teachers' part, so that they are applying what's been learned in the classroom, or even at times extending the learning and going above and beyond what their standards say.
We do current event articles on Wednesdays, and for example, we read one about bees the other day, and we were talking about how important bees are. That led to our own hive that we have here at our school, and they want to do things to help bees. If they see a bee, they'll tell people, no, that bee's not bothering you. Leave that bee alone. He's important to our environment. And you just see them look at the world with a different eye. You see them just feeling like they can make a difference in anything that they do from the conversations that we have and we embed throughout our curriculum.
There have been times when kids have disagreed with decisions that have been made at the school level, whether it be saying that there's no more tag allowed at recess because children were getting hurt, or policies that have been put in place that they question. And what we teach them is how to present their opinions and how to share their disagreements in a proper way. So when I said years ago that they could no longer play tag at recess, the students actually wrote letters, took surveys from their fellow students, and asked them how they felt about it, and then wrote a very persuasive letter to me trying to change my mind on allowing them to play tag at recess. And so it's really teaching them ways to go about problem solving in a correct way. They all have applied for and interviewed for a job in their classroom, and that helps their classroom community run smoothly, helps the teacher, and it helps them to be responsible. They're paid for that out of their banking system, and so at the end of a month or a week, whatever the class decides, they pay for their bills, and that's their desk rental. It might be for the lights in the classroom. It's basically simulating what utilities would be. And then they have also, sometimes they have incidents happen where maybe they have a sickness and they have to pay for a doctor visit or for insurance. And it just depends on the level that they're at. The kindergartners don't go as extensive as the fifth graders. The fifth graders do a whole lot more. It's a very detailed economic system. The kindergartners through second graders are talking about mayor. They look and focus on local elections.
Vote for me, I'm 12.
So each classroom has a mayor. In the upper grades, they start talking about local as well as building out from there, county, state, and federal positions.
I'm Rihanna Story and I'm running for vice president.
And they're learning about the difference between state and federal positions. So our third through fifth graders not only elect a mayor, but they also elect senators, representatives, a governor, and then the entire second through fifth graders body elects a vice president and president to represent them throughout the year. we're looking for qualities to vote for people who will represent us and represent us well. And that's something that we really, really impress upon the children. So from an early age, kindergartners typically want to vote for their best friend or for someone who has really pretty hair. We teach them to look for inward qualities on who would represent them well. At school, we don't share our own political views by any stretch of the imagination, but we try to be very objective in presenting what Democrats might be voting for and pushing for and what Republicans might be pushing for. And as we get a little bit closer to the election this year, we will talk about that a little bit more. So our elections today are a little bit of a preview for our students to understand what's going to happen in November with the big general election. And we will also do a mock election here at school. We've done that in the past for each election since 2008, and our students always pick the winner. We talk a lot about making our world a better place, and I believe these children are our future, and I know that's a little cliche, but I really believe that this is building kids who are nurturing and fostering in kids what they naturally want to do and teaching them the skills that will help them to do that for us.
It's critical. You can read Facebook and you read posts about, they should teach this in school with financial responsibility, and it's just not taught. And so a lot of times we depend on how if our parents were good with money, then we're good with money. Unfortunately, not a lot of us are real good with money. So teaching them some of those really core values about saving money, spending, and making sure that you can, the difference between needs and wants with producers and consumers. There's lots of embedded things that help us make better decisions as people, and then also for our students.
I just think it's not easy. Life is not easy. We have so many trials. I'm a young teacher, and I just feel like so many things that I've faced coming out of college and that I've tried to tackle alone, whether it be budgeting my own money or knowing how to really dig into politics and understand the government process, what it means to really give back to our community and how important that is. It's changed me as a person in just the couple of years that I've been here, and to see that these kids are growing up, instilling these values in their hearts and in their minds, I have no doubt in the world that they will be successful citizens because they started here in the Academy for Civic Engagement.
We're working right now to make sure that every school, that every student gets opportunities in their passion. So there are a lot of changes going on, but certainly we're including the magnet schools as part of our plan across South Carolina to give students opportunities.
Charter school, it's similar to a magnet school, but what separates a charter school from a magnet is charter schools have sponsors. And so the sponsor may be, it could be a school district, it could be the South Carolina Public Charter School District, or it could also be some other institute of higher education. And so with them having a sponsor, charter schools aren't held to some of the same types of guidelines that your traditional school is held to, because they don't have a local school board. They tend to have their own board of directors at a charter school, so they have a little more flexibility. So at a charter school, you may find that a teacher doesn't necessarily have to be certified in order to teach that student. But at a charter school, you can also have a theme-based program like you would have at a magnet school.
Our school is PD Math, Science, and Technology Academy here in Bishopville, South Carolina. We currently have 155 students, grades kindergarten through 7th grade. We are a public, tuition-free charter school. We are a public school, meaning that we receive federal and state funding. But our difference as a charter school, we are self-governed by our own board, which gives us the opportunity to make local decisions. And that's a positive because we tend to know what our students need. So it's not a cookie-cut program. We really drill down on individualized learning, where we test our students after they are enrolled to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, and we begin to provide a specific academic instruction based on those needs.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you guys gonna have like rovers that go around on the moon? Kind of? Okay, you're already looking at NASA's lunar rovers. That's awesome. So you're taking that research and you're applying it to what you already are creating.
I'm really excited when I saw the profile of a South Carolina graduate, because our mission embodies all of those characteristics of the world-class skills, innovation, and so our mission, and our students recite this every morning, our mission is to develop innovative, confident, self-motivated citizens through a math, science, and technology curriculum enhanced with collaborative community learning partnerships. So when we saw the profile of the South Carolina graduate, the things that Molly Spearman is doing, we were really excited that we were a little ahead of the curve. Even with our school being a STEM school, we are a science school, so that means that we integrate the science, technology, engineering, and math, not just teaching them in isolation, but as you saw in the classrooms, that the students are really embedding all of that in their learning as they're in problem-based learning.
We use a 3D printer. They could send a code to the 3D printer and it would print off different objects. So we took the owl in the front of my room and we were able to scan it on our digital scanner and then recreate it through the 3D printer.
In the STEM lab, you were able to see your 3D printers, students working independently on their laptops. We used technology tools such as Edmodo, Cashflow, other tools that students are able to see their lessons on those. They're also able to turn in their lessons electronically, and the teachers are using that for grading.
We're studying the Cherokee tribe. And so far we learned their nickname, which is Aniwa, as in the real people.
It's a non-traditional setup, some flexible seating, not basically in traditional rows of seating. They were in groups where they were able to follow an activity list given to them by their teachers, and they're following that list based on a problem that they're trying to solve. And the great thing about problem-based learning is that students, they are able to choose how they solve the problem. Next year, we will go up to 8th grade, which will meet our grade span for our charter. The board is talking about adding high school. The parents are really loving what they're seeing here, the momentum that we've created here. They like the learning that is going on with their students. As you can hear them in the background, we're close to the playground there. They like the type of atmosphere. So they have been talking with us and the board about expanding to high school. And so we're looking at that. So in the future, right now we're in modular buildings, portable buildings. And so next year and the years to come, we're looking to continue to look for those funders that will back us to actually build our school. We've had parents say that their students will cut their vacation short because they have to get back to school that next Monday, and that's good to hear to our ears that students love to be here at our school.
It's not a school as that you could take every course that you need and get a diploma. We don't give diplomas in our SC virtual school. You take just single courses. And I've been in labs at rural high schools. I was over in Saluda recently and went in a lab with about 30 students. They were online and each of them was taking a course that they were interested in. One student was taking advanced Spanish, another might be taking advanced calculus, whatever. So it's an opportunity to really deliver high quality teaching, high quality coursework to students all across South Carolina.
Virtual SC is a statewide supplemental online learning program for students in grades 9 through 12 primarily. We do have some middle school students who are taking courses for high school credit, but we're not a school, we're a program, and so we serve students all across the state who are enrolled in public, private, or home schools or adult ed programs. And we provide the certified teacher, the online coursework, all of the materials that the student would need, and then at the end of the course we send the grade back to the school where the student is enrolled. So, Virtual SC is completely free. The program is offered to public, private, homeschool, adult ed, at no charge to the school, the parent, or to the student. Another piece of our office is Virtual SCPD, which is our online professional development for teachers statewide, where we offer renewal and graduate level courses to teachers. Typically our focus is on technology integration. However, recently we've added the Read to Succeed suite so that teachers that are looking to add on that endorsement can get that. We've also added the online teaching endorsement, so if teachers are seeking that endorsement to their certificate, they can get that through that program as well. Trixie is our Virtual SC Teacher of the Year this year. She is our world language Spanish teacher. She was one of our first Spanish teachers with the program, and she's really built out our Spanish offerings.
I really like teaching online because of the relationship you get to develop and the things that you can do with students. In a classroom, if a student fails an assignment or isn't successful at this assignment, if the majority of the class is, you have to keep going. You can't stop the class to help one student. You have to say, oh, you come in for this time or you come in for that time. But in virtual environment, I can stop that student, give them feedback, help them, and then let them go on. I can help them master that content before just, without just pushing them on. In the classroom, sometimes we're just pushing, we have to get through this, we have to learn this, and some students get left behind. But in virtual, you can push them at their pace and give them the additional information and confidence and help that they need.
I think the thing that I would like for people to really know about the program is that, we do offer a very highly qualified teacher. We have a really good staff of teachers. We vet the teachers very well. They're trained on how to teach in an online environment. So they're there to support the students. So the student's not in this alone. Our teachers do have set office hours that they publish within the course. But students can, reach out to the teacher and they'll respond during their office hours.
We have several ways that they can get help. The first thing I always encourage students to do is pick up the phone and call me, text me, message me, Skype me, however they want to get in touch with me. I tell them if they want to send me a pigeon, they can, because I'm the first connection between them and the course. So I always encourage students to reach out to teachers. We have available tutor.com, which is a service available through our courses. And so when teachers aren't on, we don't work all night long, but sometimes students do. Tutor.com has services where the students can log on, ask a question, get help from a tutor, and then return back to their course. I think the most important thing to know about Virtual SC is that we have a lot of dedicated teachers who really are focused on helping students. We want to make sure that our students leave our courses knowing the information that they need to be successful. I think that knowing how to navigate and function in an online course is a really important skill for our students, and that this is a great way to get that experience.
Lots of times when people think about homeschool, they think it's just willy-nilly do whatever you want to do with your child at the house, and it's not. There is a process in place through the Department of Education, and parents who do decide to homeschool their children, they do have to follow specific guidelines and procedures as it deals with homeschooling your child.
They register with an accountability group, and the accountability groups check in with the Department of Education and have a little bit of paperwork that we have to verify with the Department of Education. And so then we operate and basically speak school to the districts from the association. Option one is if you want to homeschool, you go down to the school district and say, I'm going to homeschool, and they have an application process there. Option two was brought in as the first association so that homeschoolers didn't have to go down to the school district. They could register instead with an association. There's only one association that's in option two, and that is named in the law as well. It's called, they go by their initials, they pronounce it like a word, it's called SCAES, but it's the South Carolina Association of Independent Homeschools. And then the option three, when that law came into being, and so they added on a third option, so it's any other accountability Association, and that's the third option. And the vast majority of homeschoolers actually register through a third option accountability association. The parent, according to the law, just needs to have either a GED or a high school diploma. If they have higher education, that is fine too. They can have some, we have lots of people that have some college, we have lots of people that have college degrees as well, but the law just mandates that they have the basic GED or high school diploma as a minimum. That's really where learning occurs. We all, as lifelong learners, we focus on the things that interest us and delve into those things, and so it's setting them up to follow their natural curiosities for the rest of their life. It's just a matter of trusting your own instincts, your own parenting, your own goals for your child, and figuring it out together with your students and getting them to where they want to go, because you want the doors of opportunity to open for them. You want the best for them, and the world is our classroom.
For every student, our goal is to find their passion and to find what students are interested in and help them find that pathway. So when students can see the relevancy of what they're learning and really be engaged, they're going to outperform our expectations and they'll stay really involved.
Students nowadays, everything is through the internet. They thrive on technology. And so schools are getting very creative in how they are providing their instruction to students. And I think because schools are changing how they're teaching, the process is changing for students in terms of their education.
Thanks for joining us. We'll continue this discussion on our website, and you can send in your comments and questions to carolinaclassrooms@scetv.org. Join us on November 23rd for the next edition of Carolina Classrooms. We'll learn about how teachers and students are using technology in the learning process.